But, Mark, let's move on into our last topic, and this is going to be, we're talking about rookies again. Rookie quarterback. We had that topic way long ago, I want to say. It was like, what, 2 weeks ago?
It's been a while since I feel like we've really talked about the rookies.
It's felt like, I believe it was after the first preseason game because we got to, well, you got to geek out about the Trubisky.
The GOAT.
The Trubisky.
The GOAT.
The GOAT 2.0 in Mark's eyes. But we're talking about rookie quarterbacks again because one of them was named a Week 1 starter. We have DeShone Kizer for the Browns, named the Week 1 starter, and congratulations to DeShone Kizer.
No one is surprised.
I'm going to ask you this part of pop trivia to see if you guys know it, but to see if Mark knows it.
Okay.
What number starter quarterback, like in the lineage?
Yeah.
What number is DeShone Kizer?
Like, just for Browns history?
Yeah, Browns
or
history.
Their run of shitty quarterbacks?
Their run of shitty, basically the same
I don't know.
thing.
He's got to be like 40 or something like that at this point.
He is the 27th starting quarterback that they have had.
Interesting.
Since they came back.
Okay, I was going to say, does this count before?
I want to say since they came back. So in the run of shitty quarterbacks.
Yeah, it should be since they came back because that's too few otherwise.
He is 27 on the list. And
good for him.
Mark, I'm just going to ask you plain and simple, what should we expect? What should we expect from DeShone Kizer?
You know, you should expect some highs. You should expect some lows. You should expect the Cleveland Browns.
So Browns Super Bowl.
Basically, you should expect the Browns to kind of be the Browns. I mean, right now they're going through these growing pains. They're trying to be more analytical. They're trying to be a baseball team. They're playing, the very looking at how you contribute. What are your stats like? All right, are you really worth it? I mean, that's why Hayden is not on this team anymore. He just wasn't worth it anymore. And they're trying to really boil it down to numbers and see if that's going to help them out. And you're going to have some questionable decisions that are made. A lot of people were upset about Hayden being off the team. And then you're going to have some other things that are going to go well. And essentially the Browns are just trying to stockpile some picks. So
they also traded Cameron Irving for
that's right. They
picks
just
as well.
did that too. Which good on them to be able to get a pick out of him because that's a bust right there. But anyways, they're just trying to kind of get themselves forward. And I had the Browns, I think, maybe at like 6 wins or something like that. I definitely think that there's potential. Yeah, I think there's potential on this team, but I don't want people to get that excited because at the same time, they could still be, like a 3-13 team. Kizer, I think, can get it done on his own, but I definitely don't expect him to be Marcus Mariota or Jameis Winston when they just Cam Newton when he came in and just lit people up. I definitely don't expect any of that out of him. But, hey, it's fun to see the rookies play.
Well, and that's the thing where, I mean, the thing I like this and I hate it. And the thing I like about it is you go out and you spend an early draft pick on basically the kid is what I'm going to call him. You go out and spend a early draft pick on the kid and you get to see him play. And this is the type, this is the quarterback that, and Browns fans could disagree with me, but if I was a Browns fan, this is the guy you're excited about. This is the one you were excited to see play. You don't want to see Brock the Cock out there. I mean, Cody Kessler, if they would have named Cody Kessler, if I was a Browns fan, I would have been like, okay, I understand it. I'm not mad at the decision, but really DeShone Kizer's the one. He's the one that you drafted. Show me who you're working with, basically, especially when you got the Wolverine Hugh Jackman out there. Well, Hugh Jackson, but you guys know what I mean. And he's the one that fans, I would assume, would want to see. However, I don't like this because, Mark, I believe Cody Kessler should be the guy for this year. I believe that DeShone Kizer, I know during the offseason we talked about, Kizer's being fast-tracked for the starting position. I don't get what starting him this season does overall. I get what it does right now to where it's like, okay, he gets to go up against NFL level talent without high expectations. Where fans might have high expectations just because, DeShone Kizer's starting 7-9. Realistic, or unrealistic, this is never going to happen standards for the team. However, the coaching staff, I would assume, is setting him up with dude, just be yourself. This is a team that's expected. Like, you had them 6 wins. I think that was kind of high. I have them 3 wins, which some people may say is kind of low. Some people may even say that was a little high for the Browns this year. So there's not a ton of high expectations. He can just go out and do him and not necessarily have to worry about, man, you're a 3-13 quarterback. We got to get rid of you.
Yeah, for me, the question of like what this accomplishes, really it says they don't have any faith in Osweiler. They don't really believe in Kessler either. So they're saying you're a quarterback. And I think that this is a genuine, not like Johnny Manziel was their quarterback, not like McCown was their quarterback, just run down the list. Not like any of those guys. This is them coming out and saying, Kizer's the quarterback. We don't care if he goes out there and he sucks right now. We don't care if we only win 3 games. He is our quarterback. We're going forward, and we're going to see what happens. Because this offensive line, besides Joe Thomas, is nothing to be excited about. The weapons you have, not amazing. The defense that you have, people want to say it's a little underrated, but I'm not quite buying it completely. There's just not that much about this team that's really that good and that exciting. So they're not terrible. They will get by. They will be mediocre. But you're just going to say, this is the kid. We're going to let him do it. We don't care that we drafted him in the 2nd round. We're going to go out there and we're going to let him play like an early pickup. And it really just comes down more to me, in my eyes, that Osweiler and Kessler really just don't have any faith in either one of them. They don't believe in them. They weren't shown anything that should say otherwise. Kizer went out there and he proved to them why they drafted him in the 2nd round and proved to them why he should start, and they're gonna reward him for it. They're gonna let him do it. Well,
and the thing that I'm looking at right now, a little nugget when it comes to DeShone Kizer and this start, and this tweet is from at Kevin Cole, and he says, if Kizer gets the nod, this was well before he was named, if he gets the nod, he'll be the 3rd youngest rookie quarterback to start since week 1 since 2000. And guess who are the 2 who would be younger ahead of him? And it's basically by days. The first one, it's by 0.01.
Nice.
Is how much that he is. Jameis Winston is number 2.
Good for Jameis.
Matthew Stafford is number 1. Matthew Stafford was 21.5, whereas DeShone Kizer is 21.69. Other quarterbacks on this list: Mariota, Newton, RG3, Sam Bradford. What do you notice about these guys?
A lot of young quarterbacks, a lot of new quarterbacks.
Well, no, not just that. With Winston and with Stafford, where were all those guys drafted?
Early as hell.
Very early.
Number 1.
Top of the first. Number 1s, number 2s.
I mean, Bradford as well.
Kind of category. Even like RG3 was number 2. Cam Newton, number 1. Mariota, number 2. The only ones on the list that were like the lowest, Kyle Bowler is on that list. He was drafted 19th overall in 2003. Didn't get that week 1 start. Yeah, he did get it in 2003. I'm thinking of the other Kyle on this list. So Bowler's out there. He was a 19th pick. Mark Sanchez, your boy in Chicago right now, was a top. He was a 5th pick, so he was still.
That's our guy, number 2.
Top 5, and then another former Bear, the lowest of this. He was drafted in the 4th round by the Bears in 2005.
Nice.
I'll let you guess who it is. He came from Purdue. I'm sporting his famous look right now.
Oh, Kyle Orton.
Kyle Orton.
He was from Purdue. That's right. You said Purdue, and that really threw me off.
You thought Drew Brees.
No, Drew Brees.
He came from Purdue.
He did, but that's not who I was thinking of. But I just wasn't thinking of anybody because I'm thinking Purdue. Who the fuck is a quarterback from Purdue?
Out of the youngest quarterbacks.
And I missed a big one.
Kyle Orton. He was drafted in the 4th round, pick 106 on that list.
God,
so
those were the days.
Like, there's one of those quarterbacks where it's like, wow, he was drafted quite a way away from DeShone Kizer. But one of the quarterbacks, and the reason why I brought that list up, had some advice for DeShone. And it was the quarterback who was almost the same age. He was just slightly younger than DeShone Kizer at this point last year, and that's Jameis Winston. And what he said, and I'll quote, is, hey, patience is the easiest way, all right? Take my word for it because I'm a risk taker. I kind of want to put in there shot taker, but whatever you said, Jameis. Then he goes, have patience. Who you got? You got Hugh Jackson. So listen to him. Let him guide you. But patience is the easiest way. Taking that ball down, even though you got the cannon, listen to me because they ain't going to tell you that. You're spoiled, you're blessed. Do your thing, end quote. And I wanted to ask you, what do you think of Winston's advice for DeShone Kizer?
Well, I actually think it's good advice of, be patient and don't take the dumb risks. And Jameis is kind of saying, I'm a guy who takes dumb risks, and I know that there's lows to that. I know that my coach gets angry at me when I do that sometimes, so don't. I actually kind of like it. There's no reason why Jameis needs to do it. There's no reason why he should do it, but he's kind of showing that I'm the young gun. I'm one of the leaders in the NFL, is what he's basically trying to establish himself as.
But I get you.
Yeah, and saying, I'm going to take this upon myself to be this mentor to the young guy, to be the guy that he should look up to. He should see me and say, I want to be like Jameis. That's what he's trying to do.
When I look at this, what I see is the difference in generations, basically. Because when it comes to, I'd say maybe the lower end of our generation with the generation below us, I see a lot of helping out, giving advice, not being like, hey, you know what? You're on that team over there. Fuck you guys. I'm not going to help you kind of
Very
a thing.
true.
Whereas, look at the older guys. Did Tom Brady necessarily come? Like, first off, has Tom Brady come out and said, yeah, I've got some advice for you? No. Second of all, Tom Brady, like when it comes to backup quarterbacks, Brett Favre's another one I think of where it's like, fuck you. I am not helping you because if I help you, you're going to take my job away.
I mean, remember Peyton Manning's famous little shot of Brock Osweiler's got the helmet. He's ready. Oh, Peyton's going back out. Never mind.
But that's what I like. That's what I think of when I see this. The younger generation in the NFL of, yeah, I don't give a shit. You may be on the Browns, but I'm going to offer you this advice.
It's the
I'm
brotherhood.
going to help you rather than the
kind of NFL fraternity, essentially.
Yeah, whereas the old guard is like, no, fuck you. If I give you advice, there's a chance that we meet in the Super Bowl and you beat me in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Or if you're on the same team, no, fuck that. I want to keep my job. I don't want to get replaced by the young gun, so you can go ahead and go through the same mistakes I had to go through. Plus, with that older generation, there's a very much, and I'm not saying Tom's like this. I'm not saying Brett Favre was like this exactly. I don't know them personally, but I'm just talking generally. Most of the older generations than us are the, you know what? I had to go through mistakes. My dad's always like that. You have to make the same mistakes. And I would always be like, why? Why can't you just help me so that I don't make the mistakes, that I have a better life that you had? No, but the older generation, I made the mistakes, I went through it, you have to go through that as well. But that's what I get from this. I also get from it, at first I was like, okay, Jameis, you're a bit of a hypocrite. 'Cause it's like you're telling them, be patient, don't do this. Because I'm like, but you do the opposite.
But then, I think that's what he's saying.
But then I thought of it like, well, duh. That's why he's saying that, because he's saying he's basically doing the patented do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
And don't be like me. Sit there, listen. And I like how the best thing from this quote is when he calls out Hugh Jackson. Because you and me, when we have talked about the Browns, one of the best things we've talked about when it comes to the Browns is the Wolverine. We have high respect for the Wolverine. That's why they brought him in, to work with a quarterback to make sure they have someone like Matthew Stafford, who we talked about at the beginning of the podcast. So when I was getting back to the expectations for DeShone Kizer, I don't think there should be high expectations. I still think this is a 3-win team, and that's as far as this team is necessarily going to go. Is that a bad thing?
No, it's a team. It's a team that's rebuilding, and they're reestablishing themselves, and they're completely changing the way they think about things. The great thing for Kizer is that there's nobody under him that's going to take his job.
Yes, because they got no faith in the guys below.
And it's also just that they have established that you're the young guy. We're going to let you go out there. We're going to let you succeed. We're going to let you fail. they could go 0-16, and it doesn't matter. Kizer's their starting quarterback next year.
You know what this also does, and I'm not saying like I know that when I say this, it's not going to have the same kind of weight because of the Browns, because of that number 27 that I mentioned at the beginning of the segment, but this might give Browns fans some faith of like, hey, I might actually go out and fucking buy a quarterback's jersey for once because this guy might be around a little bit.
Browns fans buy a lot of jerseys. They'll be all right.
No, I think they've given up. I think if I was
buy a lot of jerseys.
If I was a Browns fan at this point, I'd be like, fucking wait till he's a Pro Bowler, then I'll fucking buy the jersey.
No, they buy those jerseys in Cleveland.
Or they just get the one and they just start crossing. They retired that jersey. That jersey's not around
like
anymore.
2 years ago.
I know. It's not, it saddens me every time I think about it.
Yeah,
that was one of the staples for the Browns.
They keep buying those jerseys. Don't you worry. Don't you worry your pretty little head, Ricky.
Don't I worry my pretty little head that they keep buying them. But any final thoughts? Because it's the same thing that you brought up. Where you're like, fuck, I might actually buy a Trubisky jersey.
Yeah, I mean,
because he's giving you hope.
Yeah, I like the hope. It's fun. It's probably going to be the number one thing on my Christmas list, which essentially
a Bears
is
Super Bowl win.
Yeah, right. That. Which, hey, you know what? I can still get it. But it's essentially my wife asks, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I say, "Buy me a Mitch Trubisky jersey." Yeah. Is what I'm going to tell her. Until maybe
get me a Trubisky.
We'll see. Maybe he'll go out there and really fucking bomb in the regular season, and I'll say, I'll take that Walter Payton jersey again. I'll take one of those for yet again.
You're not going to get a Kyle Orton jersey? Go retro with it?
I don't know if they still make them anymore.
They don't make, you don't think they make them?
I can get the custom. I can get the custom one.
The custom one. What would be another one? A Musid Muhammad jersey?
Oh,
you can
that
go
was
that
sexy.
far back.
That was sexy. I mean, you can go classic with Devin Hester.
It's a staple.
Your
Urlacher, the Tillmans.
Or you can go really well, and if Jay Cutler does well in Miami, get that Jay Cutler Bears jersey.
Now, here's the thing: would you think about doing this if he does well with the Dolphins? Do you get the hybrid?
No.
Where you basically take the Dolphins and the Bears jersey.
That would be ugly as hell.
The teal with the blue, I think that'd look pretty good.
Ugly as hell. I don't want anything to do with it.
The numbers might not match up because they're different fonts, but
yeah.
I think it'd look pretty cool.
Nope, not into it. Not into it.
This is where we're going to turn it on to you guys, though. Let us know what you guys think about DeShone Kizer. What are your Browns fans, what are your expectations for him? What are your expectations for your team this year? Let us know down below in the comment section. Also, a little bit of house cleaning. Should have did this at the beginning. One time I'll get this correctly and learn. But we revamped our Patreon page. Check out the link down below, patreon.com/most valuable podcast. If you're sitting there going, what's Patreon, Ricky? What is it? It's a way for you guys to help support the channel more so than watching and liking and just sharing all of our videos and great content. We've got great rewards, only 4 of them, but they're great rewards for you. Patreon podcasts that you can receive each and every month. We have a call-in reward, so you can call in if you want to be on the Onside Kick and talk about any topic you would like to talk about with us. We have that one as well, and we also have a Q&A reward as well. So go ahead and check out that page. Your support there would be direly appreciated, and we would thank you for it to the highest end. Thank you, Zani, one of our patrons. And that's going to do it for the Onside Kick this week. I want to thank Mark. You came in here. People might not have noticed.
No, I bet they noticed. They noticed I'm dying.
You came in here, and you basically Michael Jordan'd it today.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're taking he's got a little bit of a cold. It's not like you did it through pink eye.
I'm dying, man. But I'm dying right now.
That's the dedication you get from this. So I want to thank you guys for watching and or listening. And as always, have a good day, everybody.